What is going on, everyone? How are we doing today? I'm going to move my chair down a little bit. I just lost track of time. I was just getting the stream prepped, watching some videos, getting some things together, and then all of a sudden, it's 4:30. So I have a lot planned, or at least a lot to go through, but really what this is going to turn into is going through this together and really looking for some of these potential loopholes. There's a lot that has gone on without a lot that has happened late, or I guess, no, that's poor wording. After Grandma has spoken up, which if you guys haven't seen this, Candace has since has come out and done an exclusive interview, even though it wasn't super long. There's been a lot of development and reasons to go back now and see if things line up in terms of the story from Candace, from Hunter, from everyone. So we're going to be going through that today together. Hello to everyone that's here. Thanks for hitting that like button on the way in. If you haven't already, tap that like button on your way in. Jen, hello. Cosmic, Starflower, Diana, hey. Nice to catch a live. Yeah, good to see you in here. Cynthia, hi, hello. Crafty, hey, how's it going? Of course, Alex, welcome. Jeanne Buckingham, hello. Hello, Moira, Martine, Moira, Jen, Ty, Kate for Peace, hello everyone. Cheryl, of course, in the chat. Claire, Angela closing up shop to come in here early. Claire, Panda, hello. Good to see you guys all in here. Melissa, Sergeant Friday, Amy. Thank you guys for being here. We almost have 100 people in here. I want to say quickly, thanks to Lena Taylor for joining as a Tier 1 supporter. She did that like shortly after I created the stream. I need to do something real quick. So hold on one second. Let me... I don't know if I could do this in the middle of it, but this is going to be, so these are the level 2 supporters. There are a couple more I need to mention. One second. So I'm going to add a new video here. One second. I'll mention it at the end here. Actually, you know what I can do? I have a new level 2 supporters. I'm doing it at the beginning now. I'm shouting out the level 2 supporters at the beginning and the end of the stream, but I had to add a few new ones. So here we go. Level 2 supporters. Here we go. The new ones are at the very bottom. Brock Willis, EM, Kira, Emily Investigates, Randy, and Mrs. Frankie Carey. So I need to get it added into my streaming software. But anyways, thanks for being here, everyone. Hello. I had realized maybe I wasn't when saying hellos. Hey, how's it going? Victoria, Tracy, Jen, how's it going? Lots of UK people tonight. Hey, from Wales. Good to see you in here, Jen Lou. Sabrina, what's up? Ginger Snaps, good afternoon. Howdy. Cheryl. Yeah, you guys are not late. We're just getting started. We are about to hop in and go through kind of what has happened not only since our last live stream, but as well as going through and trying to find maybe where there are some holes in this timeline. I have a lot of thoughts. So this is going to be a good one. Sasha, hello, welcome. Also, Mel from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Marshall Dove, new here, love it. Well, happy to have you, Marshall. Lovely Jubbly, hi from England. Yeah, a lot of wonderful people in here, a lot of old people that have been here for a while, and a lot of new faces in the chat as well. So thank you guys so much for being here. Okay, let's start to get into it. We usually wait a couple minutes. Yeah, it's been about 5 minutes since we started the stream, so we're giving people a chance to join. which is great. So thank you to all the people who are in here already. And definitely hit that like button. Like I said, we are over 100 people in here, almost 100 likes. Linda Ferg, welcome to Level 1 supporter. Linda, thank you so much for becoming a Level 1 supporter. You now have access to the emotes in the chat, which we are getting some new ones made right now, which is very, very cool. There'll be some more to choose from. Thank you so much, Linda. I really appreciate that. Searching for Truth, new here, glad to be here. Thank you for being here. Sandy, here from East Tennessee. Sandy, this story obviously hits close to home for you. So I saw Angela's comment earlier asking if anyone was subscribed to Candace's YouTube channel. And I have to say, I am. I've watched now all of her videos since my last stream. One video that came out right after my stream last time. So we streamed on March 2nd. Angela coming in with the emote. This video came out literally in the last 30 minutes of my last live stream. Like while we were live, someone tweeted me, which thank you for tweeting me this video. I wish I had seen it during the live stream. We could have reacted to it together. This is a video that came out. We're going to go through each of the videos that Candace has published since my last live stream. They're very, very quick, most of them. But this is a video that came out during the last live stream. I'm going to mute the video because it's just a kind of a whatever kind of song. And I don't want to get copyright claims for some song that I'm not able to use. But what are your guys' thoughts on this? This is clearly showing Summer Wells, I think her brothers as well in some of these, within flames. And then the song she's choosing is this song called Run, where you're like, run. It's like very like, yeah, I don't know. I said I wasn't going to play the song and I played a bit of the song. Disturbing a little bit, right? I mean, Alex says no comments. This is very disturbing. I think Alex, you may have sent this to me as well. Thank you. A lot of people sent me this. I'll just say this. It's super weird. It's strange. And if your child's missing, this is like the last thing that I feel like you would post. However, I will say, and it may just have been a poor choice. I don't think that Candace necessarily, and look, I don't want to be rude here. I don't think she's thinking like how other people might be thinking. She's probably not thinking and aware of how this looks. I think Candace makes silly TikTok videos, and we've seen that from older videos where she's using these filters and these weird, I don't know how much to read into it. I'll just say it's strange. She probably shouldn't have posted it. A lot of people are going to read it as very dark and strange that she would do this. I don't know how much I should read into it, but I'll just say, yeah, it's weird, and it's a weird video to post when your child has been missing for almost 9 months. Because while we all would love Summer to be alive and well right now somewhere and for her to be brought home safely, the odds of that are so low. And so to think that Summer Wells could possibly not be with us anymore, you would hope that you would be thinking of her in a more positive light, not necessarily putting out videos of her surrounded by flames. So it's just strange. So thank you guys for letting me know what you guys think of that video. Sergeant Friday says she's not thinking clear. Yeah, I don't think she's thinking super clearly either. Yeah, Moira says it's just not appropriate for her to post it, to be honest. Yeah, I agree. Hey, Chloe, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Chloe 22. I'm always annoyed by Rebel Flag as well. Yeah, I've gotten a few comments on that. Pineapple, or is it Pineapple? Pineapple Pam. A lot of people are like, what do you think about Candace wearing the Rebel Flag on her hat and all this and that? And I'm just, I think a lot of people are like, just like weirded out by that. I mean, look, this is East Tennessee. Some people fly those flags. Some people don't. I don't have much of a comment on that. I just not a fan of that flag, but that's just my opinion. And yeah. Yeah. Also, Sabrina says, I wonder what the titles are about because what the heck? Yeah, it's strange because this could just be like when I upload a video to YouTube, for example, sometimes the video has an automatic title based on the file that was sent or created. And so maybe Candace or whoever's managing or uploading to this channel just is like, well, whatever, doesn't really care about the title. You would think they would just be like, let's change the title to something generic, even if it was just Summer's name. But anyways, let's move on. So that was, like I said, 5 days ago on the 2nd. Since then, the next post was a live stream. It was a 16-minute live stream. We're not going to go into it, but this is a live stream that happened. It was 16 minutes long. A lot of it, Candace was actually muted during it. She's been trying to get live streams up and running. She has a friend that's helping her with those live streams. And a lot of it is just her trying to figure out the technology behind it, which I have to say, I know from firsthand experience that it's difficult sometimes to get these live streams going. And, it doesn't seem like the internet connection is super solid out there as well. Her bandwidth, I don't know what kind of camera she's using as well, but it seems like she's trying to get these live streams up and running. So it'll be interesting to see if, as she does get used to doing these more, and especially if she has someone helping her, how many more of these are we going to have from Candace moving forward? Are we going to have live streams every other day that we can react to? At some point, is something going to slip up? Because I'll say, right now, the live streams are a lot of people, like obviously you can see people are saying like no sound. It's a lot of positive people in her chat. You can see up here, I don't know if you can read it. It says, Candace, you got this. People are asking to be her mods. People are saying, that you need to respect Candace and all this. It's a lot of support in her live streams, which I find interesting. Obviously, you're going to have people that are going to bounce around and hop into the chat that have not nice things to say about the case. But it is interesting to see. So I don't know if it's going to be a sense of like an ego boost for her, this feeling of support. Because if she's feeling down, she knows she can do a live stream and have overwhelmingly more positive feedback. And once again, from firsthand experience, I know what that's like. When I do these live streams, the overwhelming majority of you that are commenting are saying very nice things. It is a nice feeling getting done with these live streams. I'm like, that was great. Like, it was engaging. People were nice in the comments. We have people every now and then in these comments that don't say nice things, but it's like overwhelmingly positive. So I'm wondering if Candace is going to do more of these to not only boost her own self kind of image and ego, but just as Dawn's not there, possibly controlling the narrative. Is that a likely thing? But yeah, it is interesting. Hey, Alicia, how's it going? It is interesting that the comments are positive. Like I said, I assume there's some people coming in with negative comments as well. But Victoria says, where are her friends trying to give her feedback on what she is posting? Where are her friends to give feedback? Yeah, I don't know. But like, this is super strange. I guess this is maybe just an old video. This was the next video that she posted. Just a 7-second video of what was probably her son, I guess, in a plane. I don't know. EM, how's it going? Good to see you in here. Also, Allison. All the people that are in here time and time again, I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys for hitting that like button on the way in as well. We have 230 people in here. Let's get to 200 likes. We just crossed 100 likes. That would be amazing. So thank you guys so much for being here. This is the next video that Candace posted. We don't have to watch the whole thing, but it's just a random video from what appears to be the porch at 110 Ben Hill Road. And some rain, I don't know if there's much more to read into. Obviously she's got her flag that people, comment on and ask me to comment on. I don't have much to say about that. But this is just a video of the rain. And what's interesting is it makes me wonder when this was taken, because we have videos of what appears to be her son or someone. Like, I'm going to Now we're on this other video. We have videos that are clearly posted from Candace that were taken at a later date. So it's like, you know, when were these posted? Because a lot of this seems like content from the past. Someone said, "Where's the swing?" Also, it's just like, here's another thing to comment on. I don't think Candace is concerned about her image as much as she maybe should be in all of this, because this is just the way she is. Like, if I was making a video, I'd be like, oh, let me pick up the trash on the porch, especially if I'm going to show it. And I just think that she's not thinking about that. It's just, so when we read into some of these situations, we have to just remember that her way of living and presenting herself is just the way it is. But yeah, I don't see the swing either. Who commented about the swing? Irwin, Lisa Irwin. I don't see the swing. But yeah, I don't believe that this was I believe this was an old video. Searching for Truth said this is an old video. Okay, thanks for the comment. She apparently confirmed it on a live stream. So what's the reason for posting these old videos then? You know, just, it's strange to me. The only other thing that she posted of substance since our last live stream here was another Q&A with a friend, an unnamed friend, which if some of you are aware of this person's name, let me know. This is according to the live stream, this friend was unnamed, remaining that way. They confirmed in this live stream that the kid in the background of one of Candace's live streams from a while ago was this unnamed friend's kid, okay? And this friend said that they had no relation to Candace. Candace, quote from this video, had said, let me see what she said. She said that this was what'd she say? Who is she? Candace said during the live stream that she is a dear friend. So whoever this is that's helping her said it's a dear friend. So this is from March 4th. And it's interesting. The only thing of substance.
Everybody.
Oh, yeah. Listen.
You know, I'm not answering no questions about the case. That is not what's going on tonight.
She's like, I'm just letting everyone know. And this is at the very end of the live stream. I'm not answering any questions about the case. That's not going on. But what did go on was them joking about Candace's birthday coming up and how she's getting old. Nothing really substantial in terms of the case. They linked her Cash App several times throughout, which is fine. She's getting support from people, as well as like an Amazon wish list. It's just a weird thing. They're just like doing these live streams. They're like, yeah, we're not asking anyone to donate, but here's the Cash App. Here's the Cash App. Here's the Cash App. Here's the Cash App. Like 100 times. Not 100, but a lot. So it's just super, super strange. It's like this person's off camera telling Candace kind of what to say. It seems like directing this whole thing. Or so it seems. And I think Angela had asked me earlier. Also, Angela says she seems to be posting videos showing all the places she has taken the kids. Possibly. Amanda says Dale, the dear friend. It sounds like a woman. Also, hi, Ocean Eyes. Good to see you. Angela asked me earlier if I have made an attempt to reach out to Candace now that Dawn is not possibly controlling the situation. And I will say this, yes, I have. And if Candace or anyone that is representing Candace or involved in the case or, you know, her media that's going out, if anyone's watching this or happen to come across this, I'd love to have Candace on the show. I'd love to have her on. I have been doing some reaching out and there is some talks happening, but I don't even know who I'm talking to entirely. They're very like secret about everything. It's very strange, but I have given them that opportunity to come onto the show. I know she's gone on to different shows. So we'll see. Victoria says, yeah, I'd be curious to see the wish list. Yeah, Victoria, they only linked the wish list in the chat and I I never clicked on it. It's not in the description of the video. Yeah, it's not in the description, and I don't see it anywhere in the chat. So I don't even think they linked it Oh, wait, here's the Cash App. So that's our Cash App. And then I don't see a link to the wish list. So that would be interesting to see what's on the wish list. But like I said, nothing substantial out of that video. The next video she posted on March 5th was titled Candace. So she, I guess, chose to title this video, yet not the others. And this is like a 60-second video of what appears to be maybe photos from their trip out to the West Coast when they did the Dr. Phil show. That's the only thing I can think of, because these are clearly not photos of East Tennessee. There's palm trees, there's ocean. I mean, yeah, looks like ocean view, Earth Bar. Oh, this is right next to, I think this is right next to Santa Monica Pier. I feel like I've been to this restaurant. I'm in front of it right now. I feel like I've been to this area. You know what? Impromptu map time. I'll be able to tell you right now. But yeah, this is a video of clearly, the West Coast. Ocean Bar. Ocean View, not Ocean Bar. Wow, yeah, that's right there. Yep, there it is. Okay, so map time. Everyone in the chat. Okay, hold on. Let me get this pulled up here. It's so easy. It's so easy to find these. All right, back to this. Hold on, back to the other view. Here we are. The only reason I really knew where this was is because I've been there. Yeah, I've been to this. There's a restaurant just down the street from here that I've been. So I remember this Ocean View Hotel. This photo would have been taken from right about here. And then, yeah, you can see the little, I think this is a public restroom or some sort of area over here along the beach. Yeah, I've literally been right over there a couple years back. So this is very familiar. Oh, there's two very distinct trees too. Map time. But anyway, so this is very clearly a shot from near Santa Monica Beach when there's the pier. Probably from when they did the Dr. Phil show. So anyways, I wasn't expecting to get into the map time so quickly. But like I said, we're going through each of these videos. Thanks to the 300 people that are in here. Still haven't hit 200 likes. Guys, just gently tap it. It's free. You can either use your finger if you're on a tablet, hit the little like button, or hover your mouse right over the like button below the video. Give it a little tap. Give it a little tap. Thank you, Alex. I'm going to check your DM in just a moment. Thank you for sending me that. All right, we're getting close. We're getting close to the end. So obviously, like I said, these are some old clips. And then this is the most recent video she posted on March 5th. So 3 days ago, she posted a video titled Candace 1. And once again, like hard rock, metal type music and photos of the kids and Dawn. Which, if we're being honest, the only videos and photos that she can post that have the kids included are old, right? So obviously all of these, none of this could be recent, even if it was just the boys, because the boys are not with her. But I was referring to the photos and videos of, the rain coming down outside the house. But a few of you have sent me some stuff basically confirming that none of that is recent. Candace had mentioned it as well. Alex, who is one of the future mod helpers people of the channel, we're going to be giving Alex some mod capabilities because Alex is here so often and she's so great. She just sent me a link, an interview Candace did saying she won't post new content, only old pictures of her kids. Interesting. Okay. I wonder, okay, so that's with Benny Keys. I wonder what, that's an hour and 19-minute video. I'm not going to know exactly where that happens unless, did you mention it, Alex? Yeah, no timestamp, but that's okay. But apparently she mentions it in this video from February 28th with Benny Keys that she's not going to do any new videos, just old stuff. All right, let's read the chat real quick and then we'll get into it a bit more. Starflower 703, my husband died last year and I can't sell his truck until I transfer his title into my name. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. I don't know, but my mom would have my rear end if I went outside with no shoes on. Hey Jude, how's it going? Her wish list things for her are things for her house, a sand mat, a salt lamp, nothing for her children. Wow, interesting. Embossed says if she's not talking about her daughter on the or the case and people donate her money, it doesn't make her different than any other creator. Yeah. No, I mean, here's the thing though, Embossed. I also have a PayPal linked in my description. I also have donations that are available to be made here on the channel. I don't know that I've ever asked. You know what I mean? I've never been like, hey guys, Cash App is PayPal's linked down below. No need to donate though, but it's down there. Also, the Cash App's down below. They mentioned it like 30 times, so it is different. You know, some people do, ask for money, and that's fine. You know, if you're an independent creator and this is your thing. If this was my job, I would stress it a lot more. When people donate to me, I always say donations are never expected, but they're always appreciated. And I always go on to say that it goes towards my independent project that I'm working on, my documentary. So it is a little bit different because she's not actively needing money. And, granted, Dawn is in jail, so maybe she is pressed for money right now. And she needs that to get by. She should just be very transparent about that. And I'm sure she would have people that would willingly support her. But it's like she should be utilizing that money to go out and do whatever she can to help with Summer, printing posters, the things that come with that. It can be expensive. Jude, I love your channel. It's great. I'll rewind and watch soon. Jude, thanks for being here. Really appreciate it. Okay, Kira, Emily investigates. Do you have any idea how difficult that is for her right now? What are you referring to? She needs to get a job. All these Confederate flag flyers say no one should be living off the system. Okay, it's totally different. I'll just put my Amazon wish list right here. Thanks. Okay, continuing on. So I've got you guys pulled up now on my laptop, and I will be referring down and looking down to make sure I don't miss anything. But I have now pulled up my Google document that I was working on when the stream started. So we're going to start from the interview room, Chris from the interview room. We're going to be referring to his video that he premiered on July 26th, 2021, which is the interview at the swimming hole, part 1 with Candace. This was before he went to the house, where we know the video came from. He was responsible for the video that everyone knows from the house tour. The video I'm referring to is this 40-minute and 9-second video. If we go to the 4-minute and 15-second mark, well, first of all, actually, I'm just going to play it a little bit, and I want you guys to see if you notice anything.
Paw Patrol.
Okay. Hold on.
For me, I'm not sure exactly what her name is.
And
so they're talking about her shirt, okay?
And tell me the significance of this shirt. Why is it so important?
Because my daughter loved Paw Patrol.
Okay. Yeah, she did Paw Patrol. What else? Princesses.
Ponies, and she loved Frozen. Then she started with these.
Okay, so did anyone notice anything there? I'm going to wait for a couple comments to come through. They're talking about Paw Patrol, okay? Did anyone notice anything? I just want to see if anyone caught what just happened right there. Also, Fam Damily, thank you so much for becoming a level 1 supporter. Really, really appreciate that. Also, what comes with being a level 1 supporter and level 2 supporter is I think once a month you get a free comment, which Kay's Beautiful Struggle, who's been a level 1 member for 2 months now, was able to use that comment to say, keep up the great work. You are appreciated. So Kays, thank you so much. Really appreciate the comment. And so if you've been a follower and a supporter of the channel, whether it's a tier 1 or 2 level, just remember, I think you should be able to hit the little $ icon and have one free post per month to where you can show up on the page on the side for a while. So a few people are coming in and talking about past tense. And that is one thing to remember, that in the days and in the month following all of this, because you have to remember this interview was, I think, just a month or so after after Summer went missing. They do talk in a lot of past tense. So that is something to note, but that is not what I'm referring to here. Robin, which is so funny. Robin Buonadano says, yes, that was Robin. And that is what I'm referring to. So once again, thank you so much to Fam Damily for becoming a level 1 supporter. Really appreciate that. So Sasha says, who is Robin? Well, this is Robin here. Okay. So let's watch this again. I created a little bit of a video here to show you guys. Let me pull it up. All right, come on now. I had it pulled up. Summer Wells, here we go. Okay, one sec. Okay. Here we go. This arrow is telling you kind of where to look in this video, okay? Sound doesn't necessarily matter. This is what I was trying to point out. Which, if this is this I just never found anywhere. I didn't know that she was down there, but this is Robin Lane, who is the youth pastor, or even the church leader, church teacher, that Chris from the interview room eventually interviewed later on. He blurred her face out. But this is her here. This is it going by a little bit quicker. Same dress, could have been the same day. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure how long Chris was in that area doing all of his interviews. It absolutely could have been the same day. But there it is right there. I'm pretty much 100% certain that is the exact same person. She even talks about having a daughter. Yeah. Anyways, and then she's walking with a young girl here. So it's interesting. Why was Robin there? Why was Robin at the swimming hole? Corinna says, "Holy moly, I never noticed." And Angela says, "Something about that Robin." True crime. Did she even stop to talk? And why is she there? No idea. Erwin says he interviewed her the same day. She's wearing the same dress. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the same dress. Also, Jewel Weed, this is old news. It's just news. Some people aren't aware, and we're talking about it here. If it's old, great. I didn't know about it. I'm just commenting on it. So anyways, Jewel Weed, if you could let me know of some new information, we can talk about it here as well. Everything that we talk about is technically old news because we're talking about it after the fact. So anyways, continuing on. Corinna says perhaps Candace asked her to be there, or asked her to. Yeah, you never know. You never know. Who knows? I definitely didn't mention it in Chris's video. So that was just something to mention. At 4 minutes and 15 seconds, we skip ahead. Let's go and talk about this here, because basically a lot of people, Katzen, I have a nice voice. Please stop saying and. Well, no. Sorry. I'm doing a live stream. This is how I talk. I'm not a professional at all. So if you don't like my ums and uhs, hit the exit button and exit the chat. Okay, moving on. So a lot of people have been talking about grandma, whether or not grandma was even at the swimming hole because of her interview, because she mentioned not even knowing whether they were at the horse stables or where they were at. Now, based on the interviews, I still kind of think that grandma was there. Now I'm thinking about it. Hey, guess what? Super nice of you to call out someone on their ums and uhs in the middle of a live stream. I'm doing just fine. So everyone's laughing now. It's funny when people call it out, you think about it, but I'm not going to worry about it. Okay, continuing on. Let's listen.
And how did she get in her bathing suit? Or...
I actually put her bathing suit on before we left home because it was really hot out that day.
Okay.
So it was just something small and then not so hot.
Okay. Okay.
Because I know how she gets too hot.
Okay.
Just wanted to mention that moment because Candace had talked about putting Summer in a swimsuit before they even left the house. So I think it was planned that they were going to do some level of outdoor activity involving swimming, which that'll come back up later in the stream. But she also mentions, and I thought it was worth noting, that Summer gets really hot. So she wore something that was small and thin because Summer gets hot. Okay. Okay. Anyways, continuing on, 428, which is where we're at right now. That's when she's talking about how Summer gets hot. 443. This I just thought was interesting.
Person or in your mom's truck, was the
No.
AC on or
I
off?
don't like AC.
Okay.
Was the AC on or off? No, I don't like AC. Let's listen to that again.
I don't
Okay.
wanna-
So it's Tennessee warm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like it is now.
And are you an air conditioned person or in your mom's truck, was the
No.
AC on or
I
off?
don't like AC.
So not even a minute earlier, she's talking about how her daughter gets really hot. Was the AC on? No, I don't like AC. What if Summer's hot? Are you going to suck it up and turn the AC on even though you don't like the AC? I think that's really strange. Not that it's like mega strange, but it's like weird to say you don't like AC. I just want to call her on that. Like, no. And I get some people don't like to be cold, but it's like if it's hot, you'd think that you'd be fine with saying like, I don't mind the AC, especially if she just commented on Summer always getting hot. That's super strange. But anyways, let's see. What's everyone saying? Angela says, weird then why she wasn't wearing it in the water. She gets too hot. I thought she got cold, which is why she was wearing the tracksuit. Exactly. So that's why I'm commenting on some of these things right now, is just to kind of expose weird moments throughout these interviews that now, in retrospect, or in hindsight, looking back, sometimes, or they kind of seem a little bit weird. At 4:57, let's keep moving on because we're going to go to Hunter's interview because some of it kind of clashes, okay? 4:57.
All three of you together.
Yeah.
Now, how does mom's knee handle this hill here?
Well, she uses her cane, so it's a little bit easier, and she'll hold on to my shoulder so
Okay.
she doesn't fall or nothing.
So,
For the people who are talking about Candace, Grandma not potentially being at the watering hole in the first place, he's asking her, how does Grandma handle this hill? Because you have to imagine, Grandma was at the hospital that day, treating her knee injury, waiting for a prescription. Who knows Grandma's level of, athletic ability or ability to want to just like go down the hill and stand near the water for, half an hour while they were waiting for the prescriptions. I'm still on the fence of whether or not Grandma actually went down to the water. And we'll get to that in a little bit as well, because it's based on some of the stuff that Hunter said. Okay, so continuing on. 6:57. Hold on. We got some comments coming through. I gotta address these comments. What's going on here? Okay, TD, let's see. Alicia, sorry to hear that. Sending you a big hug. Also, send some love to Alicia in the chat. Send some love to Alicia. Amy Grandis didn't stick to the script. I'm thinking you're kind of right. I'm thinking you're kind of right. Cindy, doing great. Thank you so much, Cindy. All right, continuing on. Sorry, I had to stop there and see what was going on. 6:50. Oh, this is strange. This is strange.
Guys
Or sorry, 4:57. She talks about grandma using a cane. All right, one
and
second.
stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. Sure. I don't know if it was her husband or Hunter's. I'm just gonna say Hunter's daddy. Come out with all these guys and stuff, and we're supposed to move down here. And they couldn't find a place to stay or whatever. Well, I don't really remember what this guy's name was. I know he's a Mexican, I think.
So she's talking about, if it's kind of hard to hear with the water. She's talking about Hunter's dad having some guys come down here. I think she means traveling down to this area of East Tennessee, Rogersville, that area in general. She's talking about Allie, Hunter's mom, starting to see this Mexican guy.
And she
That Jose guy?
Yeah,
Is that right?
Yeah, she wanted him to stay, and she was also staying at my house.
Okay.
So I said, well, if you're going to be with him, that's fine. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. That's y'all's deal. And I don't know, they did whatever they did because I didn't really pay attention to them. I just hung out with the kids and my mom. And then one day he just goes, I like chicks with dicks. After him and her did whatever. And she got all pissed off and just said, hold on, take me and my kids back to my place.
So this is a lot to take in. And after looking back on this, I'm not saying that this is super important. And Michelle's saying, I'm confused, LOL. Also, guys, I'm not entirely sure. I just heard that Alicia was having kind of a rough week is what it looked like. I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I was just sending some love in general, and because someone had mentioned it, and just for her being here all the time. So enough of a reason to thank her and to wish her well. But here's kind of what Candace said there, and it was a lot. There was a lot of sounds going on with the water. Candace was basically saying that Allie and this Jose guy were staying with them, or at the very least were at their house for a while. Okay? And that this Jose guy says, I like chicks with dicks. I don't know what the story is around that. But Allie got frustrated and said, take me back to my house, to grandma, to Candace's mom. And that's where we're at. And then this gets weird because this is a huge red flag. So one second.
I'm out of here. So I don't even know what really happened.
Okay.
She just went off the handle. And ever since that, I don't know, she's just been hateful towards me. And I don't know, I don't get it.
Okay.
I really wish I could understand it.
Okay.
And she stuck me with that guy. And then my husband got home. He's like, well, who's this guy, And I'm like, Allie left him here, abandoned him here.
So she's explaining that she got stuck with this guy. And that Dawn came home and was frustrated. Like, who's this guy? Which, if they were living, or at least at the house for a substantial amount of time, Dawn would know who that guy was, you would think, unless they were only at the house when Dawn was at work. Also, 5 Ginuk, I'm not sure how to pronounce the name, says, but Candace barely knows his name. It's strange that she's kind of beating around the bush of not knowing this guy's name. This is a big story for grandma to have to take this guy also back. Oh, well, we're getting to that in a moment. But here, let's listen. But basically, she's stuck with this guy. Dawn gets home. Here's what she says. She basically says they have a squirrel, which I think she meant to say that Dawn and this Jose guy had a quarrel. I'm bad with words, too, sometimes. I mean, I say and a lot, so let's continue.
I was like, he ain't got no place to go. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my mom took him after my husband and him got into a little squirrel. My mom took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard.
Hold on. Sorry.
What would, and that,
Oh, let's listen to that again.
Took him, I believe it was to North Carolina to some chick's house. And then that was the end of him. I never heard from
what
him
would,
again.
and that, so your mom drove him up there?
Yeah, my mom did.
Okay.
Okay. If they don't know this guy super well, Candace is stuck with this guy after Allie leaves. Don and this Jose guy have a quarrel, because he's like, who's this guy? And then Candace's mom takes him all the way to North Carolina and drops him off. And like she says, and I haven't heard from him again. That's the last I've heard from him. It's so weird. Looking back on this, you know, look, these interviews, these videos that Chris from the interview room did and has done throughout this whole case have been so valuable to this story, because you've got Candace a month after all this happened spilling information about that day, sitting here at the watering hole. I mean, I made a comment on it at specifically, let's see, I'll come up to it in a little bit, but there's a moment in this interview where she is just continuing to spill and Chris is saying, yep, keep going, tell me more, yep. And you've got to imagine he's just thinking, this is gold, because this is going to be picked over like what we are doing right now. And some of it is probably completely irrelevant to the story and to the case as a whole, and that's fine. We only kind of speculate here, but we're able to do that, and law enforcement salivates at this kind of information. You know that they're going through this with a fine-tooth comb for sure. But yeah, anyways, I find this so valuable to go back through, because the first time, like I was getting at, it's kind of a lot. You're like, holy cow, like this is a 40-minute video. This is an hour-long video. This is all these interviews with key people who were there that day. You go through them the first time and you don't notice certain things like this. But then now, like I said, looking through this video now and this Jose guy, it's like, what the heck? Why would grandma take and drive Jose another state over several hours and hours of driving if he was just some random dude? I know grandma traveled, but it's strange to me. It's strange to me. Kira says, in all honesty, North Carolina isn't that far from their house. Maybe an hour drive, 2 tops. Okay. 1 second. I agree. It's probably a lot less of a distance than I'm imagining in my head. But let's just see exactly how far it is to the closest border. Let's see. Yeah, it's probably even less than an hour, Kira. You're spot on. So let's say we go from 110 Ben Hill Road and we drive to what looks like the nearest border. So North Carolina, the nearest border would probably be like down here. We got to pick a town. Let's just say White Rock. Hour and 14 minutes. So who knows where in North Carolina they went? That's a great point, Kira. I'm glad you called me on that. It's not like it was hours and hours and hours. I pictured it being a lot further. I keep forgetting they're in such a far corner in the northeast of Tennessee. But even an hour for someone who is just a random dude hanging out, living at the house with Allie, why? I'd be like, drive yourself out of here. Like, why was that grandma's responsibility? You know? Just the facts, sir. Just the facts. I appreciate that. I mean, that's what we like to try to cover here. I mean, I'm not trying to put out information that's not factual, but do you agree, Kira, that it's strange that grandma would take it upon herself or feel a sense of responsibility for this Jose guy, where Candace is saying like, oh, what was his name? Oh yeah, Jose. Allie and him had a falling out. He said he likes chicks with dicks, and grandma decided to babysit him and take him back to North Carolina. Like, who is this guy? Jennifer, I know it wasn't the same day. This was not the same day. This was a falling out prior to the Summer Wells incident. But I'm just commenting on how I think it's strange that the interaction, that happened in the first place. But thank you. Thank you for commenting that. message retracted. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what you said there, Kira. All right. All right, keeping that up. Let's continue on in this video. 11:45. Moving to 11:45. We're going to be, like I said, pairing this up with what Hunter said as well in his interview, and kind of compare and contrast what some of the differences are. Kira says, "Yeah, yes, I do feel that it is strange. I would have been the same way. Drive yourself." Yeah, exactly. I appreciate you mentioning how close North Carolina was, though, because like I said, in my head, it's a much further drive. But even if it was 20 minutes, I'd be like, why am I driving you? Corinna says, before we get into this next part, Corinna says, Dawn is very volatile and jealous. Candace is afraid of Dawn. To me, it makes sense. Interesting. Okay, continuing on, this part of the video, 11:45, we're talking about the Twisted Tea. Now, let's just listen in.
Vapes that I bought were nicotine vapes from the hippie house.
Next door.
Right, next door.
Okay.
Well, no, they're kind of, one's further down by the mall. The smoke shop's further down by the mall where I got the IC. And the hippie house is just right over here before you crossed over the bridge.
Got it. Okay, so the smoke shop where you bought the
We went to the hospital.
Right.
And picked up my mom.
Right.
And then we stopped at the smoke shop and I got mom that Twisted Tea that she wanted. And then I stopped at the hippie house and got me some smoked nicotine vapes.
So she got mom, being grandma, the Twisted Tea that she wanted. Yet Hunter, she got the tea for Hunter. Continuing on.
Is what I got.
Okay. What flavor?
I think they were Skittles.
Okay.
Because that's kind of like.
Wait.
Okay, so we're moving on. She got Skittle vape, right? Which is fine. I believe her that she picked up a Skittles vape.
A few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay, we're listening to this part again. This is talking about priceless now, okay?
A few things. I was in the store for maybe 5 minutes.
Okay.
Grabbed some milk and some cheese, and I don't remember what else I bought.
Okay.
Now, in Chris's video with Hunter states several times he's bad with time. Candace, in this video, states several times she's not a time person. She just does things. He even makes a comment that she's on Tennessee time, right? They do things on their own time. They're not, they're not following any sort of a timeline unless they absolutely have to. But also, Alicia, I just saw your message. That's totally cool. Thank you for letting me know. Appreciate it. But the discrepancy, the time discrepancy between Hunter and Candace here is very long. Candace says she's in the store for maybe 5 minutes. Hunter says around an hour. And that's one of the biggest ones. And even if it was split in the middle, even if it was 30 minutes, that's a lot longer than what Candace is saying here. So it's like, how long were they in the store? I don't think that they were probably in there for an hour, because it doesn't look like they got an hour's worth of groceries. So I'm kind of on the fence of if that's important, if that's not important, but it's something to at least mention. Thank you, Sky Z. I really appreciate that. Also, thank you guys so much for hitting that like button. We're over 200 likes now. We have close to 500 people in here, though. So if you haven't already, hit the like button. It helps get the stream out there to new people to find the channel. And I really would appreciate that. Also, we're very close to 19,000 subscribers. I feel like we have less than like 30. So if we're going to do a little mid-stream PSA, if we're going to tell people to like the stream, we may as well mention that if you enjoy the content, if you're enjoying the stream, to go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. We could cross 19,000 right now together on stream, which would be very cool. 6 of you, if you, out of the 490 people that are in here, if you're enjoying, let's click this like button, let's click the subscribe button and we'll cross it together while I'm reading your guys' comments. This is a live subscriber number counter, which is very cool. So let me read some of your comments while we wait. Sage says no, at least 30 or 40 minutes. Also, who leaves a child? Yeah, Sage, they had talked about, now if we remember, I know there's some people that are just getting into this story, okay? And so if you want to go check out my previous live streams, my previous videos on the Summer Wells story, we've gone through timeline. We've gone through the day as a whole from location to location, okay? And in that time, we talked about Candace and Grandma going to the grocery store and Hunter and Summer being in the car, remaining in the car, watching TikToks. They talked about that. Hunter mentioned that they were watching TikToks in the live stream. 19,000, let's go. Thank you guys so much. Really appreciate that. Crazy to think that there are 19,000 people, now 19,003, that are along for this journey. Really, really cool. Thank you guys so much for the follows. But yeah, it's strange that there is such a discrepancy in that. But like I said, if you want to go check out my other videos on the Summer Wells case, please do so. Just subbed. Thank you so much. Really appreciate that, you guys. Chloe, thank you. Thank you. Ty, Allison, Sasha, woo, thank you. But let's continue on. Thank you for the little break. And that was very cool that we celebrated that and crossed that together. But yeah, it's so strange how Candace is absolutely dead set on not saying that Hunter had anything to do with the twisted tea or the vape. Like, let's be honest, he definitely did. And I don't know if she's scared of the repercussions of supplying that to a minor, but it's not like she was giving him hard drugs. Like, kids vape, right? I don't support that at all, but kids are vaping like crazy. So it's not hard to believe that she got that for him. Okay, 1703. This is possibly one of the more interesting things. Okay, let's listen in. I'm going to go back a little further so we hear the lead up to it.
That day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
Massive pause. We need to talk about this. This is one of the more strange things. In hindsight now, looking back at this interview, Candace, Grandma, Summer, after having dropped off Hunter, which there are some people that think Hunter actually made it back to the house as well. We can talk about that at a later time as well. They're driving home. We know the video. We know that supposedly she was supposed to take a photo of Summer in the back seat to try to capture her in a position with her arm up, because that's how Dawn slept. Okay, cool, interesting. But let's listen to this again, and then I'm gonna comment on this. I think it's strange that she says, "How's she sleeping?" She asks Grandma, "What's Summer doing?" Which, look, I know that kids, when they're in the back seat, can be doing a lot, right? Especially if you've just gotten groceries. She clearly had candy back there. There were things within Summer's reach, had she been awake, that she could have been doing. She could have been eating a bunch of those Skittles or tossing things on the floor. Like, so to ask what's Summer doing isn't the weirdest thing, because it is a kid. But for her to follow up after Grandma says, "Oh, she fell asleep." These are Candace's words, quote, "Oh, she fell asleep." For Candace to say, "Oh, how's she sleeping?" I don't know how I didn't notice this in the beginning. Why would she ask, "How is she sleeping?" And Candace goes on to say, because she was driving. She said she looked back because she was driving. So she mentioned she didn't look back and then say, "How's she sleeping?" She said she asked how was she sleeping because she was driving and hadn't looked back yet. And then she explains that she looked back because she was driving and notices that Summer's arms are up, how Dawn sleeps. What? Let's listen to it again. We've got EM coming in with the super sticker, wrecked. This is how I feel, EM. This is me falling through my computer seat, which... Let's just listen. EM, thank you so much for the $10 super sticker. You rock. Really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Let's listen to this whole segment again. I want you guys to tell me if this is as weird to you or if I'm reading into this too much. But let's listen in.
I don't know what else I can tell you.
Well, help me understand when you went home. Tell me about those dynamics that day. Take me back to that day. Yeah, on the way home.
On the way home, well, we were just sitting there talking, me and Mom, about everything pretty much. Trees, flowers, rocks. Whatever Mom likes, pretty much we talk about. And I was like, what's Summer doing? She's like, oh, she fell asleep. I was like, oh, how's she sleeping? And when I look back, because I'm driving, and I look back like this, she had her arms up like this, like her daddy sleeps all the time.
Okay.
So I wanted to catch that moment.
Okay.
It was just things I do.
Right.
And I was like, here, Mom, hurry up, take that picture. And then she accidentally hit the video record instead of the picture part.
Okay.
So like, did you catch it? She's like, F, no, I accidentally hit the video part.
That's what you get for handing Grandma the camera.
Yeah, well, I was driving, though.
Okay. Once again, I could be reading into it too much. Someone just said something along the lines of, let's see, Chris K, her brain has a hard time remembering anything. It could be just the fact that she's not remembering how everything worked, but the fact that she's reciting it in such a way, she's quoting like what she said to Grandma. I just think I completely overlooked this. Like, why would you say okay, first of all, like I said, she gets a pass for saying that she asked Grandma, what's Summer doing? Because I guess maybe they stopped hearing Summer. Maybe she was awake. Maybe she was tossing things around. She had high energy. That's obvious. We all have heard that from people that are in Summer's life. We were talking about Robin Lane earlier, the church leader, the church pastor, kind of pastoral leader, talking about Summer having tons of energy. So I would imagine she gets a pass because if Summer was awake and making noise, and then all of a sudden they're not hearing anything from the back seat, that's an okay thing to ask. What's Summer doing? But for her to ask how she's sleeping is so strange. And I'm beating a dead horse here, but it just, this is weird to me. I see some people saying that they agree. Joyce says, I hadn't noticed that. Ty says, I'm honestly speechless. Does she not have a review mirror? Why wouldn't you just talk to Summer? Yeah, exactly. Does she check to see if Summer sleeps like Dawn? Does she always check to see if Summer sleeps like Dawn? Yeah. Miss Wee Lassie, let me hear. Okay, Miss Wee Lassie says, Candace seems to say, oh, a lot, so I don't think it's significant her using that when quoting what her mother said. Let's see. Okay, well, yeah. So, because Candace says that Grandma says, oh, she's sleeping. Take the O out of it, Miss Wee Lassie. The O, let's just say the O doesn't matter, even though she was quoted saying, oh, okay. Even if she says, what's Summer doing? Grandma replies, she's sleeping. And then she says, how's she sleeping? Even if she didn't say, oh, how's she sleeping or how's she sleeping, even her asking, how is she sleeping is strange. Right? I would never question how someone's sleeping. If they're buckled into the seat and they're in a car, I wouldn't be like, oh, how are they sleeping? Do they all of a sudden have $600 in their lap? Or like, oh, are they upside down in the seat now? Because we buckled them in. Are they upside down? Guys, I'm staying on this for too long, but it's because I think it's strange. I really do think this is strange. And I may make this its own video. That's weird. That's weird. How is she sleeping? She's sitting on the seat, sleeping. I don't know. Unless she always was trying to see if she was sleeping like Dawn, and that was like a thing. Was she always trying to catch her in this position because she slept with her arms up a lot? I'm moving on past it. That's one of the bigger things to me that I thought was just super strange in all of this. Sorry to stay on it for so long. It's strange to me. I'm allowed to think it's strange. If you guys agree, great. If not, no worries. TD says, the only thing I can think of is like her neck. Is she asking if she's comfy or not? Yeah, that's a good point. And look, I'm not a parent, so I also don't think like a parent. And I know that when you become a parent, it sounds like something changes where, you know, you kind of care more about your kids than you in just about every way. So maybe she was saying, how's she sleeping, just to make sure she's comfortable, right? But you would think that grandma would be like, oh, she's on the milk cartons. She's probably freezing cold. I don't know. So it's a weird question to me. It's a weird question to me for sure for her to ask. But then again, like I said, I'm reading into it a lot right now. That's all we can do. Forever Curious says kids can fall asleep in funny positions. Yeah, I think that's, like I said, I could be overlooking it. I think it's strange though, and I'm going to stand by that. Okay, so at 23:45, we're skipping ahead quite a bit here. Okay, quite a bit here. 23:45. We're now at the house, and Chris is now asking Candace, I'm going to go a little bit before it, about, you know, the events that unfolded after they had gotten back to the house. So thank you guys so much for being here. Also, we're an hour into this stream. Thank you guys for hitting the like button. We're over 300 likes. We crossed 19,000 subscribers. This is an awesome stream. Thank you guys for spending your Tuesday afternoon with me.
Grandma gives it to her.
Sure.
And she wanted a piece of candy, so Grandma gave it to her. We were sitting there for about, I don't know, 5-10 minutes maybe at the most. And she was, Mom, I want to go back to the house with my brothers. I was like, all right. So I got up and I walked her back across to where I could literally see her walking to my doorstep.
Okay.
And she
Front door, back door?
No, it's, well, I don't know if you want to call it the front door or back door because I don't really consist which way.
Which door is it? Yeah. In some of the pictures I see, there's a door around the bottom and the back.
Not the basement door. I call it the kitchen door is what I call it.
Okay.
And she walked in there, and there's a scaffolding that we have for steps, the yellow and black scaffolding we have for steps. Okay. And I put my hand on the scaffold. I said, boys, watch something. I'll be right back. And I had to go over and help Mom. She was still sitting over there. And I had to go and get her knee brace and fix it for her because it was twisted and crap.
Okay.
It took me like 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes. I don't know. Okay. I'm not a time person. Never have been.
Okay.
And next thing I know, I said, Mom, I'm going back over with the kids, chill and hang out, whatever. And I freaking asked her brothers, well, where'd your sister go? She was just right here with you. Oh, she wanted to go play with her toys downstairs, Mom. I said, I think none of them, because that's where our room is, that's where her toys are.
Okay.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, you sure she went downstairs? They're like, yeah, Mom, she went downstairs.
Okay.
And my boys do not lie to me. So I went around because my stairs...
Okay, so we're going to pause there. There's a lot to go over with all this today. Guys, this is a big one. And look, I'm seeing all your messages. You guys have always really good things to say. And I love having different viewpoints that are, you know, bringing in some realistic, you know, Kira saying, y'all have to remember for this whole interview, Candace was already on the defense. That's a good point, right? Here's this guy, Chris, who's really asking her to relive this day that was still very fresh. And immediately when you're being questioned on something, you're going to feel like you need to be in a defensive position because you are trying to make sure you don't fumble over your words. And she already probably knows that she could be coming across in a way that seems bad in the future. So I get that. And Kira, I appreciate your messages in here. I love having all the different viewpoints, all the different perspectives in the chat going at all given times. So it's great to look down and see all the, the productive conversations that are happening. But I will say this, I'm going to continue on. After explaining that Summer got a piece of candy from Grandma and wanted to go back to the house, she makes it very clear that she walked her back to the house. And I know we've talked about this a lot in my live streams. And I'll just say this, I don't know that I believe that. And even if she did, cool, she walked her back to the house. She says she visually saw her enter the house through the door. She mentioned placing her hand on the scaffolding that made up kind of the staircase that they had outside their door, their kitchen kind of door, not the side door that goes into the basement, but the kitchen door is what Candace calls it. Visually seeing her enter, telling the boys to watch Summer, I'll be right back. I have a hard time with that. A lot. I have a hard time with that because, like I said, this is a property where I feel like they were able to run around likely without having to watch each other all the time. So once again, I think that there's just, and this is just my opinion, this is the biggest part of the story that I'm hung up on in what Candace is saying, because I just simply don't believe that she was a helicopter parent. I don't believe she was telling her boys to always watch Summer, keep an eye on Summer. And then she immediately comes back and asks where Summer was. If Summer told her, I want to go inside and play, her room is downstairs. So for her to come inside, why would she immediately go, where's Summer? Like, she knows she just went back home to play. Why was she immediately asking the boys where Summer was? And then she says she waited a second and she didn't hear anything. So she went downstairs, or she asked the boys, you're sure she went down there? And that's another weird thing to me, because I don't think Summer, like, yes, she probably would have been able to be like, I don't hear anything going on down there. I would imagine that Summer made noise when she was downstairs, but I don't think she would have always made enough noise to just be noticed that she's downstairs playing. Like the railing and the boys. Yeah, Lisa Irwin says unnecessary details like the railing and the boys. A lot of people are saying too many details. It's strange to me, all the details, but what gets me and what strikes me as odd, and try to think about this for a second, if it was normal for Summer to go inside and play and she was fine with her going inside, downstairs is where Summer would have been playing, for her to immediately come inside and go, where's Summer? And the boys say she went downstairs to play. If she didn't hear from her right away, it's so strange that she's saying like, are you sure? And then the moment she goes down there, she says she screamed. So let's listen in again. So also, this is the part of the video that look at Chris. Chris is absolutely like, keep spilling it, keep spilling it, keep spilling it. Cause she's saying a lot here and you can tell he just keeps saying, okay, yep, keep going. Yep. What next? Cindy Taylor. Hey, Aaron from Aspen, Colorado. Hey, how's it going? Also, I saw Cindy, I think it was Cindy. Someone else said, no, it wasn't Cynthia. I think Cindy had said something about this seeming, I missed the comment. Sorry, Cindy. Someone had said, like, looking back at this now is super strange, to go kind of back through this with a fine tooth comb. I'm not seeing Cindy's message now, but I think it was Cindy. But yeah, anyways, continuing on. Corinna says, bingo, Aaron. Candace is most certainly not a helicopter parent, just the opposite. Yeah, Amy, I know that Chris lost a child. Exactly. Okay, continuing on. Sorry, guys. We're rolling through this.
Downstairs. Okay. And my boys do not lie to me. So
I'm going to skip back a couple seconds.
And after about a second, I didn't hear nothing down there. I was like, you sure she went downstairs? They're like, yeah, Mom, she went downstairs. Okay. And my boys do not lie to me. So I went around because my stairs, my husband calls it a bar, but it's not really a bar. I call it a mess. We built it over the staircase. I guess you could call it a bar, but it's not really a bar because we don't drink that much. So, but it was like where we put our TV stand, stuff like that. And I walked around because that's where the steps are hidden up underneath there. And I said, Summer. And she didn't answer me. I said, Summer, are you down there? And she didn't answer me. So I ran down the stairs pretty much. I was freaking out. I was like, why is she not answering me? And I looked I blew up. I went everywhere looking for her. So I couldn't find her nowhere.
Okay. And then what happened?
She was just gone.
Okay. Pausing again there. I'll just say very, very quickly. My says, Aaron, you always miss my questions. You never answer my questions. What's your question? I'm sorry I missed it. It's so difficult to catch everyone's messages, and I'm really, really sorry if I miss anyone's messages. Like I said, obviously I see all of the super chats that come up because they stay on my screen. if there's ever anything super pressing for you to share with me, I do have my Twitter opened in another tab right now. So, for example, Alexa sent me a message, and I'm able to open that during the stream. So that's a way you can reach me. My Twitter is down below at Aaron Mull Films. But if I miss your message just within the chat, I apologize. So I'm gonna look for your name now, Mai, because I want to answer your question. But Alex says, did you hear her? Even her tone of voice changes when she said summer. Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, I think it's strange for her to go inside, because imagine this. She goes inside. Summer's supposed to be going inside to play, right? And then she goes inside and says, Summer, where are the boys? Or she says to the boys, where's Summer? She's downstairs playing. She doesn't hear from her. Are you sure she's downstairs? Yeah, Mom, she's downstairs. And she even says, the boys never lie to me. And that's cool. That's fine. But for her to immediately freak out, I get it to an extent if she yelled down to Summer and Summer never responded. But she hadn't yelled down yet. All she did was not hear that Summer was down there. So for her to react so quick and to be so emotional so quick is weird, because she hadn't even checked on her yet. So as she goes downstairs to check, she immediately freaks out before even going outside. Summer could have been outside. She played on the swing. Dawn talked about it. Candace talked about it. She loved being outside. And can you blame her? Inside didn't seem too great. It didn't seem too fun. You're on this property. Even if the house was immaculate in terms of a clean house, a kid on that property would want to be outside more than inside, other than if you're, watching a movie or playing video games, which is what apparently the boys were doing. So it's strange that she freaked out so quickly. It's like Summer could have just gone outside. And we're going to get to the next part in a second, which is the phone call that supposedly Candace got while they were in line for the prescription that Hunter talks about a guy on the property. We're going to get to that in a moment. I'm going to look for Mai's comment if she did. Corinna says, thank you for all you do, Aaron. You rock. Corinna, thank you so much. Thank you for using your free, chat that comes with being a tier 1 supporter. We were talking about that earlier in the stream. Thank you so much. Let me look for Mai's message in case I missed it again. I'm not seeing it. So Mai says, why would Candace have to fix Grandis's knee brace when she had just been to the medical center? Surely the medical staff are better equipped to handle their patients. Yeah, I don't know. If she just had gotten a knee brace, possibly she was still tinkering with it. Maybe she took it off in the car ride home or something and she was trying to get it back on. Who knows, right? You would think that she would have had it on and maybe she would have left it. But that's a good point, Mai. And once again, sorry for missing everyone's messages. There's 558 people in here, so it can be hard. I know not all of the 558 people are commenting, but it can be hard. So I appreciate you staying engaged in the chat. Amy says, if I lived on a property like that, my daughter wouldn't be allowed outside without asking to go outside. Interesting. And Kira says, I think the creepy guy on the phone call was a lie, be it H or CM or Candace to H. I kind of agree with you, Kira. And what let's just go into this now. Let's go into this now. So, because I have a thought that if somebody did call Candace, so Dawn apparently called Candace while they were in line. This is per Hunter in the interview rooms, or Chris's interview with Hunter. And I have the timestamp. We're going to go through it in a moment. Let's see. He asked Candace eventually. Okay, 101:50. Let's go to Hunter's interview at 101:50. We're going to be skipping around a little bit. I have to make this point now because we're talking about being back at the house now at this point. So at 101:50, this is from the uncut interview with Allison Hunter Leslie from January 6th, 2022. So this is, once again, the interview room. Chris from the interview room. 101:50. Let's scroll back. We'll have a little lead up.
Minutes.
Okay.
Well, I was saying the line was long.
Okay.
Because you have
Who went inside the store?
Nobody went in. We went through the drive-thru.
Got it.
The drive-thru.
Drive-thru at the Walgreens, okay?
And then while we were in the drive-thru, her husband calls her talking about this dude named Andy or Andrew on the property that's been there for like a week or so, she told me, that keeps stalking other kids.
Who's that?
some dude named like Andy or Andrew. I have no idea who it was.
Okay. And why did...
So here's the thing. Here's the thing that really bothers me. If Candace got a phone call from Don, which Don was supposed to be at work during all this, right? And Hunter actually says later on that the boys were with Don. So there's holes, and that's why this is called finding holes in the timeline. It's not necessarily one person's timeline. We're hyper-analyzing, breaking down these interviews, both Hunter's and Candace's, with Chris from the interview room. If Candace got a call, think of you all out there that are mothers. I know there's a lot of mothers in the chat. If you got a call from your husband that said that there's a creepy guy that's on the property trying to touch the kids, whatever, even if they just said that creepy guy that's been around the house for a week is back. Look, I don't know how Don got this information. There were people doing work on the house, around the house. And Chris talks about this in their house tour. Candace mentioned, I think, people either cutting trees or working on the power lines. I can't quite remember, and forgive me. But if Candace truly got a phone call about a creepy guy on the property, why, when you get back to the property, are you okay with Summer hanging out at the house with the boys, or the boys in general, by themselves while you're with grandma after planting the flowers? You wouldn't take your eyes off the kids, right? You would be like, where's this guy? It just doesn't come back up later, and it's strange. And so, you've got people saying, I believe that this is a fake story that's planted, that Hunter has been told by, somebody, whether it was, Don or Candace, to say in this interview. But it's strange. Like, why, as a mother, if you got a phone call that said there was a creepy dude on your property, and then you ended up on that property several hours later with your children, and it was just you, Don wasn't home yet, why would you let your kids out of your sights at all? So strange. So strange. Linda says, working on the power lines. Thank you, Linda. Really appreciate that. I'm going to read a few of your guys' comments coming through. Miss Wee Lassie says, if my hubby had phoned me about creepy guys, I'd have called the police and not even gone home. Ding, ding, ding. Miss Wee Lassie has the best response to that. Exactly. Why would you even take your kids back home? Corinna says, I would call the police, put the pedal to the metal to get home, watch the kids like a hawk. Yeah, especially if the boys were at home. If you got a phone call about a creepy guy, you just continued on your day. You went to Sonic. You went to Priceless. You moseyed back home and took videos of Summer in the back seat while she was sleeping. You weren't like pedal to the metal back home. So this is what I'm talking about, everyone. Like, there are weird holes in this overall story. Coffee Buzz says Don was like, oh wait, I'm the creepy guy. Yikes. Yikes. S says, if you'd notice that guy has been there trying to touch kids for a week, why wouldn't you have called the police the first time you heard? Exactly. Another thing. If you knew about a guy that had been on the property for a week, hanging around the kids, being creepy, whatever, why would you ever leave your boys at home while you went, and doing your daily activities? Dag bloom it. I didn't lock the door and got a customer. I'm back, but I missed some. Oh, Angela, I don't know what all you missed, but this has been a heated live stream. I have been fired up about a lot of this. We are now talking about the phone call that Candace apparently got per Hunter's, interview with Chris from the interview room, stating that there was a weird guy that lived on the property. And he does talk about it later on, that this weird guy had the hots for grandma. But regardless, what we're talking about, Angela, is that if you had heard about this guy, why wouldn't you rush home? Why would you ever leave the kids out of your sight when you did get back home? It's so strange. It's so strange. Sammy says holes have been in the story since day one. I agree with you, Sammy. I think what it is now, though, is after we've had grandma talk and after we've had some time to just look through all of this, it feels like these holes are getting deeper and there are more of them. You know what I mean? Aaron, the cops would have verified those phone calls. Yeah, and Jay Barrett, you absolutely bring up a great point, is that say what we want about Sheriff Ronnie Lawson and about how this is being handled. I think that there is a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about at all that is positive. I think that they are holding a lot close to the vest because because of how crazy this case has been, because of how many people have been involved, names being tossed around, they're not going to come out with everything they have, because this case would just erupt if law enforcement was releasing stuff and was transparent. They're holding everything very close in the event that there's a trial someday around all of this. So I appreciate you mentioning that, Jay Barrett. The police probably know whether or not that phone call was made while they were at the at the Walgreens. So there's definitely a lot we don't know, but Angela Bloomright, maybe. Also, I like Angela. I like your dang Bloomit comment. You need to keep using that. Dang Bloomit. Miss Wee Lassie says, going by Don's macho behavior, if he reckoned there was a creepy guy touching kids, he'd have landed. That's true. Was Don really the type of guy to just go? So here's the thing. Even if it was, because I think we ruled out that there weren't cameras on the property. It's not like Don was checking his, doorbell ring camera and being like, hey, there's a creepy guy on the on the property. Even if he heard it from one of the workers that was at the house, you would think he would get in his car and go there and kill them, or like beat the crap out of them. Like, creepy dudes on the property trying to touch the kids. Super strange. Super strange. Yeah, that's a weird response from Don. That's a really, really good point. Okay, continuing on with some of the holes in the timeline. So we're on to Hunter's video now. And like I said, this is from the video that was posted on January 6th, 2022. At 35 minutes, we want to hear what they say here because it's important.
Is she under the influence of anything at that point?
She seemed a little drunk to me.
Drunk?
And high.
Okay. And when you say high, define that for me.
Weed.
She seemed a little drunk to me. This is Allie talking about after Candace had called her saying Summer is missing. She says she was taking her hat off and on. She was fidgety. She seemed drunk and high. Once again, everyone's saying certain things for a reason. Everyone's protecting themselves in all of this. Everyone is always on the defense. So she's going to, of course, say something that makes Candace look bad and her not look bad at all. But why would she say that at all? And this once again plays into this lapse in time that Candace's story doesn't necessarily account for, from the time they got done planting the flowers to when Summer went missing, everything in between that. Because now we know from Grandma's story, and Candace had mentioned doing laundry as well, there's all these little holes. So it is still interesting. And I know someone said, I don't believe a thing these people say. Jay Barrett says, I don't believe those people. Regardless, they said it. So it's interesting and we need to look into it. But anyways, continuing on. So 51:45. So no, we're going to go past that. 52:10.
Well, her mom's in the hospital, but we called her grandma at the time like we used to. So I called her up. I said, y'all want to come over here for a bit? Because she's going to be in the hospital for a while. Because she messed up her knee or whatever. And she said, yeah, if that's okay with Allison.
And that's mom?
Yeah, that's mom.
Okay.
Okay, I think why was I calling that timestamp out? Oh, I think that there's definitely a hole with who called who first. Did Hunter call Candace, or did Candace call Hunter? Each of them kind of say differing things. Continuing on, because he says that Candace, that he called her up and said, want to come over here for a bit. And Candace said, yeah, Grandma's going to be at the hospital for a bit. So they came to get Hunter without Grandma at this point. Because at 55 minutes, he says this.
Yes, ma'am. Okay, so she's here. Grandma's at the hospital. Mm-hmm. And who's with her that day?
Just Summer.
Just Summer.
So when they came to pick him up, it was just Summer and Grandma. He does eventually talk about Grandma rejoining them. And so, once again, there's a lot of people that are questioning whether or not Grandma was even at the watering hole because of what she said in her interview about not necessarily knowing where the swimming hole was or whatever. Did I say watering hole? Swimming hole. Anyways, continuing on. So at 58 minutes, he talks about them picking her up.
House anyways.
Sure.
I ain't even gonna put it to her. I just wanted to get out the house.
Okay. And so what happened then?
And then her grandmother calls her and says to come pick her up when we're sitting right there.
Oh, interesting. So
while they're at the house, Grandma calls Candace, says, come pick me up. Okay. 50 at the 1 minute mark, or the hour mark rather, we talk about Summer changing.
Did she take the clothes with her?
Yeah.
Miss Allison, do you know?
No,
Okay.
I don't remember.
She was dead asleep in the bathroom.
That's fine. That's fine. So she changes her clothes here, and she takes her clothes with her.
Yeah.
Okay. Then what happened?
But then
Also, she didn't really argue, Hunter's mom, Allie, didn't really argue that she was dead asleep, which, not to be rude, this looks like the type of person that would be dead asleep during the middle of the day. Also, they had talked about her starting a job or having a job around that time. So maybe she worked nights. Maybe she was sleeping during the day. I don't know. She was asleep during this. So I don't know how much I trust out of, like, did she even come out and actually confirm who are these two women? Sage says they know. Yeah, Sage, you are new to this. This is Hunter's grandma. And then this is Hunter's mother. Hunter is the guy off camera who was with Summer and Candace that day, for part of that day. All right, continuing on. This is them talking about changing.
when she got changed from swimming, they had bought her an outfit to put on because they were supposed to go to Jonesboro, I think. Yeah, Jonesboro for this big park, like water park.
Okay.
Big stop there. Hard stop. I overlooked this. They talked about her changing into a swimsuit. Were they supposed to go to a different water park that day? He's talking about a water park in Jonesboro. Jonesboro is the town where Don Wells, or at least I think where he was doing his drywall finishing that day. Kingsport is where Hunter lives. The water, the swimming hole where they went swimming is right here. Warriors Stable. The Walgreens is right over here. Right here. The Sonic's right here. He's talking about them getting into, Summer into a swimsuit because they were going to go to some water park in Jonesboro. Okay? Wait, this is Johnson City. Hold on. Where's Jonesboro? I thought Jonesboro was over here. Let's look up Jonesboro real quick. Yeah, okay. So it's right in between Johnson City and Jonesboro. So that water park is right over here. It was right over here. So were they supposed to go there? Sandy says everybody from this area goes to that water park. Okay, so yeah, let me go back. Water park. Yeah, okay, so Jonesboro's... Oh yeah, it's right outside Jonesboro. Right there. This is Jonesboro. This is a water park. Listen to what Hunter says here. Alex says this story has so many holes. Yeah, listen to this. Listen to this. We're gonna rewind and listen to that little bit again about them changing and about how they were gonna go to this water park.
What happened?
But then, when she got changed from swimming, they had bought her an outfit to put on because they were supposed to go to Jonesboro, I think. Yeah, Jonesboro for this big park, like water park.
Okay. So that was the initial thought?
I guess so. I mean, I don't know.
So what did you think was going to happen?
I thought we was just all gonna go fishing, swimming.
And then in the truck she changes the plan?
Nah, she changes it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Say it again?
She changed it to swimming because she grabbed her mother.
Oh, okay. So from here, where do you guys go?
From here, we go to the hospital.
Okay.
So she's like, they changed it to swimming because of her mother. I don't know if Candace thought we're gonna go down to Jonesboro, maybe say hi to Dawn, go swimming. I saw someone's comment saying that who was it? Chapstick says Jonesboro Water Park was right across the street from where Dawn was working at the time. Maybe had Grandma spent an extra hour or two at the hospital, her plan was to go down to Jonesboro. Maybe say hey to Dawn, go to that water park. And that changed when Grandma called back and said, I'm ready to be picked up. So that makes sense to me that at that point they decided, okay, well, we have Grandma. We're not going to take her all the way down there and have her stand and sit and just, she's not going to want to go to this water park. And Kira says they planned to go fishing that morning until Grandma called. Yeah, I know that they were between that and fishing because Hunter was mentioning fishing. Anyways, it's... So I guess they went to the Warriors' stables instead because Grandma called. So continuing on, someone just says... Ray says, this whole story sounds like a group of my students trying to explain why they are doing something they shouldn't be. Yeah, it kind of seems like the telephone game. Like one person like is told like, okay, say this. And then it goes to several other people. And then at the end you have something that's completely not what you thought it was going to be. But anyways, so why you wouldn't take the boys to the water park? That's a good point, Joyce. Angela says Candace said they were going to go fishing and she said she put a bathing suit on before they left because she gets so hot. That's a good point, Angela. So yeah, it sounds like the fishing was going to be the plan. And then possibly, especially because Grandma was done at the hospital at that point, they just decided to go swimming. But yeah, Peace and Happiness says, why didn't she take the boys fishing if she was going to wait on Grandis? Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, continuing on, we have a couple more points to make, and then I'm going to maybe open up the phone lines if anyone wants to call in. We'll see. Let's go to this next part that I have mentioned here. So 103. 104. Okay, so we know that he talks about at 101, he talks about the guy that called while they were in the drive-thru at the Walgreens. 104.45. This is a little strange. 104.45. I'm going to let it play into this here.
I mean, at first I thought because he calls her like every 2 hours because he works.
Okay.
I thought he was just doing his daily checkup.
Okay.
He's talking about Don calling Candace because he said, why do you think he called Candace? Hunter just basically chalked it up as Don called her every couple hours while he was at work.
But then she told me about that. I was like, how does he even know that if he's supposedly working?
And what did she say?
I didn't say that. I was just saying in my mind.
And in your mind, what did you come to? What did you deduct?
Deduct? I thought that was just suspicious.
Really?
Yeah, and then later, when she called me and told me that happened, I was with my girl at the time, just hanging over in Bristol at a park.
Okay.
She calls me while we pull up to that park. This was that Summer's missing.
So who were you kicking it with at the park?
Oh, just my girl.
Okay, just
and her
you guys.
mom and her brothers and her sister.
Okay, straight up.
That was just it with our entire family. Cause weren't you at the ball field? Yep.
Yeah, so it's strange. So he's talking about Summer, or about Candace calling him while he was at the park. So this is after he had split up from them. 108.45. This is the Twisted Tea. Oh, this is okay. This is where it's a little bit interesting to me, and we're talking about now. This is after having gone to Warriors, the swimming hole. Okay, I'm gonna go back even a little bit further.
That's what it looks like.
Oh, okay. So let me show this.
They're showing the Twisted Tea. He's explaining what it is. Candace got him this Twisted Tea, 100%. She's saying, look, that's not a massive hole. This is Candace not wanting to get in trouble for supplying alcohol to a minor, but he's here saying that she got this Twisted Tea.
You get the twist. She buys
just one.
One. I don't want to mess up your phone, bro.
I'll just cut it off.
I'm an Apple guy.
Yeah, I am too. It's just that I gotta use that till I get enough money to buy me more.
Got it. Okay, so then what happens?
Then after that, we go to the horse stable part.
So you drive to the horse stable?
Straight to the horse stable.
Right from there, you go right to the horse. Where's Grandma at this point?
Grandma, she just in the car on her phone.
Okay.
So I don't know if he's talking about when they got to the horse stables, if Grandma just stayed in the car and was on her phone. But it's interesting nonetheless. Angela, I'm gonna not read your comment out loud, Angela, but I see your comment. Have fun at the gym. Hunter is talking about when he got home. Yeah, Tracy. He was talking about after he had gotten home. Candace had called him, basically saying Summer's missing. At 58, talking about those boxes is weird, in my opinion. Chapstick, thank you for commenting on that. I think, yeah, the boxes thing is strange. Let's listen to this real quick.
So I just wanted to get out the house.
Okay. And so what happened then?
This is after he had gotten picked up. Okay, he had gotten picked up by Candace and Summer. They're talking about the boxes in the car. He's asking where Summer was, where everyone was in the car.
Then her grandmother calls her and says to come pick her up when we're sitting right there.
Oh, interesting. So where are you sitting in the car?
At first, I was sitting on the front seat.
Okay.
Like she.
Which way's the car pointing?
Like
Do you
the
remember?
truck right now.
Just like my truck?
Yes.
Okay.
It was dead serious like that, but with like an overhead to the bed.
Okay.
Bed part.
Okay.
And we moved a box to the back.
Okay.
And then we moved the box to the very back, the first one where the overhead to the bed is. And then we put another one back behind, like that passenger seat right there.
Okay. Okay. And where's Summer?
Summer, she is on the driver's side, in the back seat.
Okay. Was there any milk or anything like that in the car at that time?
Not until we got the price list, which was like I think it was a few hours later.
Okay, got it. Okay. Was there any other stuff in the car?
Nah, there was just boxes and like TVs in the back and everything.
How was Summer acting?
Okay. Excuse me. Lene didn't get a notification that this was live, so I missed so much. Lene, this was a pretty intense live stream. We're already an hour and 42 minutes in. We hit on some stuff that I feel like are big, not necessarily holes. We touched on a couple holes that are very evident in these timelines in the story from both Hunter and Candace that don't mesh, that don't line up. There are a couple moments that stood out to me as just strange and odd. So please feel free to go back. If you go back, I'd love to see your comments after the video is uploaded. I'm going to be down in the comments for all the people that watch it after the fact as well, that are just really strange to me when we think about it more and more. So, okay, continuing on. Let's see. Oh, I didn't go through this earlier. Oh, someone may have sent me a DM. No, that's a buddy of mine. Linda followed me on Twitter. Thank you, Linda. Okay, real quick. We've talked about Jennifer Coffendorfer, who is a retired FBI agent of some sort. Yeah, retired FBI agent. She says, this was back on March 3rd, 3 missteps by Candace. She thinks they were at the horse pond. Thinks? Was she even there? Says she took a nap, then replanted cactus with Summer Wells. Not that CW said. Not what Candace Wells said. So that's a big hole in the overall script, is that Candace states they got home, unloaded the groceries, and then almost immediately or several minutes later, quickly later, Grandma, they started to replant these cactuses. Also, she always said flowers, and that I'm not going to hold over their heads of saying flowers as opposed to repotting cactuses. But when she talks about it, when Candace talked about it, she's like asking, Summer, like she knew that Summer would want to plant the flowers. So she asked, and Summer was like, pretty flowers? And she's like, yes. But meanwhile, it was just cactuses. I don't know. Not saying she hurt Summer, she says, saying, I don't believe them. Yeah. So that's Jennifer. Jennifer also made a tweet 11 hours ago that says, news on #SummerWells. Candace's timeline change with nap reference significant. TBI used advanced technology in the latest search. Too late. Keep talking, Candace. Keep talking. And this is the video that Jennifer Coffendorfer posted. We're going to listen to this. We're going to watch this really quickly. And then we'll talk about it. But it is interesting to the law enforcement has been at Congress, has been on the state level trying to get, it seems like, more funding for this search and for the efforts around the Summer Wells case. They're talking about using new technology, and it's not apparent specifically, but it sounds like they didn't use some of this technology in the beginning parts of the search. Let's listen in.
Authorities are still searching for a young girl missing out of Hawkins County. Summer Wells disappeared in June 2021. She has since turned 6 years old. This week, search crews began combing through the Beach Creek area around her home. TBI Director David Roush spoke before lawmakers about the case. He says search crews are now using upgraded aviation equipment for surveillance with thermal imaging.
So he says that search crews are now using upgraded technology with this imaging. It seems so strange. Like, why? I mean, granted, if they didn't have this and the access to this at the beginning of this, they wouldn't have been able to use it. But it's like they're just now using the highest level of technology that they have at their disposal. Sasha, thank you, Aaron. We'll watch the rest on Rewind. Have a wonderful night. Sasha, thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Okay, continuing on.
Typically, when we use this asset, we're either hunting for a missing child, a missing adult, or a fugitive. And so what it'll do, it will allow those on the ground to actually be able to see what the airplane sees.
A $74,000 reward is being offered for information leading to Summer. Anyone with credible information is asked to call the TBI.
Okay. Anyways, that was the video that Jennifer Coffendoffer posted along with her tweet this morning. I really enjoyed Jennifer's tweets and her takes on this entire case. I've reached out to her several times just saying, like, come on the show, let's talk. So maybe someday she'll see my messages and be able to hop on and give some of her opinions, because she has serious expertise when it comes to the logistical side of actually the FBI searching all these things. Obviously, she can only say so much. She worked it, she lived it, but she has a lot of real life experience in all of that. So maybe someday we will have a chance to talk to her. Okay, continuing on. Someone had also mentioned I'm going to just go through a couple of the things that came up on my feed, and then we're going to open up the phone lines to anyone who maybe wants to call in. So stay tuned for that. And in fact, well, we won't do this yet, but someone on Reddit had said, why are the windows wet? And my big thing here is this could just be dirt, right? It could be that their truck was parked under a tree on the property. It got dirty and it's dried. So these could just be dirt streaks. So I don't think there's anything too crazy there. Corinna says, to me, Candace implies that Summer went swimming. She is not even sure where. It sounds to me that Candace wasn't even there. See, Corinna, a lot of people are on the same boat as you. And I think, to me, the biggest thing to me that doesn't check up is that Candace was at the hospital. This is one of the bigger holes. Candace is at the hospital. She's got this knee issue. They had said that the kids were like kicking her knee while they were on this vacation that she had just taken prior with the kids. I would imagine that the grandma would have stayed in the car and hung out for a couple minutes with the windows rolled down while they were swimming. I don't think the grandma, after having gone and done not surgery, I don't know what all she did, but she had this like knee brace now, all of this. Do you think she really wanted to go down to the edge of the water and stand for 20 or 30 minutes? Hunter said that they were there for probably half an hour at the very least. Granted, there could have been a place for her to sit down, but I don't think look, when she was interviewed recently, she's sitting in a wheelchair. She's not sitting in a wheelchair here, I don't believe, but she possibly is, because let's just see. The media from Ansley Daniel from WJHL, in the background, you can see what appears to be a wheelchair. I think that this is possibly grandma's. This is probably Candace's. So is she sitting in a wheelchair here? I can't quite tell. This looks like it could just be a folding, like camp type chair. Yeah, this doesn't look like a wheelchair. But you've got grandma sitting here for this interview. She's not standing for the interview. She's sitting. You see a wheelchair in the background of some of these videos. The biggest hole for me is that it was so hot outside, and supposedly she goes down and just stands there and watches them swim for half an hour. I don't think she was in the type of health to be able to do that. Nikki says they are in camping chairs. Yeah, they're definitely camping chairs there in the background, but you can see a wheelchair on the property. I bet that's grandma's. Corinna also says valid point at Philip. Let's see what Philip said. Joy says knees messed up. No way she could do that. Exactly. Let's see. Kira, my car's dirty too. Don't call CPS on me. Yeah, Kira, I think this is me pointing out that people are reading into certain things here that's a little bit strange. It's like, what if the water, like, what if it rained a little bit? Like, it can happen. I'm in Florida. It's a little bit different. It rains here very often, and then it's sunny. So you can have some rain. Like, just because they maybe didn't mention that it rained a little bit, if this is indeed wet, who cares? Also, yeah, the whole dirty thing, it's just, yeah, I get what you're saying for sure. Tracy, this is a tweet I saw, would love to know how long that nap was. But anyways, moving on to this very quickly. Alicia is back. Can't be as active in chat. Alicia, if you are here and you're hearing this, I just copied and pasted the voice number. I have now opened up the phone lines. So if Alicia, if you could link the number, and if you don't, I'll definitely link it. We're going to open up the phone line. So for anyone who wants to call in, feel free. Let me know what you think of this stream. We're nearing the 2-hour mark. I'd love to take a couple of calls and see what you guys have to think based on some of the stuff we had talked about in this stream. So feel free to call in. Also hit that like button. We're close to 400 likes. There's 576 people in here. Please hit that like button. Thank you so much. Aaron, forgive me, that wasn't for you. No, I get it, Kira. You're good. I want to read this very quickly. This is just from the Summerwells Reddit page. This is someone saying, a theory on lack of evidence for abduction. This person says both the sheriff's office and TBI have said that they haven't found any evidence of abduction. They also seemingly haven't found evidence of anything else, with the TBI going as far to say she may have actually walked off. I think evidence of abduction may have been inadvertently destroyed during the initial search the night Summer went missing. They go on to say Summer was reported missing around 6:30 p.m. This came in quicker than I thought it was. I bet it's Amy, if I had to guess.
Call from Amy.
I'm right.
To accept, press 1.
We'll read that in a moment. We'll read the rest.
2.
Hey, Amy, how's it going?
Hi, how you doing? I'm good, Aaron. I have a few things. I'll try to be quick.
Oh, you're good.
I would try to be quick. The first thing, I've had knee problems, and I've had cortisone injections. I've had all this other issues.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a nurse on top of it. So that wouldn't make sense for someone that had just had an injection to have to walk around. And the other thing that doesn't make sense, when you have knee problems, you can't squat. So I don't believe that they went and planted flowers. I don't believe that part of the story.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point, too.
You can't squat. You can't get into certain positions. You're not going to want to go do anything. And the cortisone shot makes you feel like I felt like it. It makes your knee feel like it's going to give away below beneath you. So I don't believe that. And the other thing she forgot, this when there was another interview with that Onsley person, that she took a nap, and then she didn't mention about she didn't mention either about the brace. So she left that part out. What I think is that the TBI and all these other people are compiling evidence, and they are this may sound even crazier and more conspiratorial, but I think that there's currently probably a grand jury impaneled now. I think they have a lot more than we think. Ronnie Lawson's playing a game. He's not showing his cards.
Mm-hmm.
I think they know a lot more. And I also, a few weeks ago, I called the governor of Tennessee, and I called the Attorney General of Tennessee.
Yeah.
And I also stated that this case is sort of an embarrassment with the CPS and how they handled the whole thing, that this didn't have to happen, that they need to follow Serenity McKinney's, the lead in Kentucky of the Attorney General that's really taking charge of the investigation, and they were able to find her body. They need to they need to use that state as an example of how they solve cases. And what else? I don't know what else to say, but I think that there's something wrong with the picture, and I do think that there's a lot more going on than we know. and that they're using that Candace is only on YouTube for money, and I think that person's helping her for money, and I don't know why people would go in their house. Well, I would want to decontaminate myself going into a place like that. I think people are just using her, and I don't think she has real friends. I don't think that these people are her real friends.
Yeah.
Right at this point, they're using her for things. They're pushing the Cash App. They want to cut of that Cash App, I'm sure.
Right.
So,
yeah. You never know.
My
You never know.
opinion, that's the final thing. I do think that there's something like with this West case out in California that we did not know that they were doing this, and then boom, these people were arrested.
Yeah.
I think that's going on right now. Okay.
That's a good point. And a lot of people are agreeing with you in the comments, Amy. So thank you so much again for calling.
Care.
Yeah.
You're
Take care.
welcome. Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
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 I always love hearing from Amy. She never fails to be one of the first, if not the first, every time to call in. So thank you, Amy. I need to pin Alicia's comment from the back, or from earlier. I'm going to pin the message with the number 305-985-2690. Feel free to call in as well. There's no line or queue, so you just have to try to hop in. There's always a delay, so just try to hop in when it seems like we're about to wrap up the phone call, and you might catch me in between calls. I'm going to try to read the rest of this before the next phone call comes in. But basically they were talking, and Amy, thanks again for calling in. She says, this person says, Summer was reported missing at 6:30 p.m. Eastern, June 15th, 2021. The first officer showed up around 7 p.m. When news broke that evening, the sheriff's department said they had 60 to 80 people currently searching, including sheriff deputies, rescue squads, firefighters, and air support. The news initially reported that Summer was last seen walking away from the property. They would have got that information from the sheriff's department, so it's possible everyone searching was working off the assumption she walked off on her own and was lost in the woods. We'll finish this in a moment. This is faster than I thought it would be. Thank you guys for calling in.
Call from Sergeant Friday. To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Hey, is this Friday?
It is.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for calling in.
Great, actually.
Good.
Am I on a live call? I'm trying to figure.
Yeah, so if you have the stream pulled up at your house or wherever you're watching, it's going to be delayed. So you'll just
Okay.
Yeah, so you'll be able to hear yourself after, but yeah, you can just hear me through your phone. So you might have to mute the stream so it's not confusing, but yeah.
Okay, very good. First time calling into anything.
Oh, cool.
I have a couple of comments. I was thinking of Ground is talking about a knee issue, and I'm thinking the incline and the decline of a hill would be pretty painful to go up and down. I'm like thinking somebody, even with support, could collapse with a weak knee.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing I was thinking about too, I mean, obviously the timeline is goofy, and Hunter's story kind of holds true, but he's got ADD, ADHD, and it's hard and difficult to focus.
Yeah.
So if there were questions that he may or may not have the details in line, because I know people who have ADD, ADHD, and they can't keep it straight. They have no organization whatsoever. So
yeah,
those are a couple of thoughts. But anyway.
Yeah. Well, no, I agree. I think that's a good point about also someone is saying like that area by the swimming hole, you know, it would be the last place you would think to take someone after having any sort of knee, you know, checkup at the hospital. Like, I don't know. So I'm kind of in the camp that maybe grandma was there at the swimming hole, but she just stayed in the car. I don't know.
Well, my other thing is, when you're coming from the hospital, you don't really want to go anywhere but home. So I'm not buying this thing about her walking down the hill. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Also,
either.
Going grocery shopping with Candace as well. It's like, I don't like to go grocery shopping sometimes, just in general. It's like sometimes the last place I want to be, especially like you said, after going to having a hospital visit, anything like that. The last thing I'd want to do is walk around a grocery store. So yeah, that's a good point.
Well, and I get stopping to get something, but why would grandma even want to leave the car for that either? You
Exactly.
know, and it doesn't, none of it makes sense.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Anyway, that was my 2 cents on it. I'll let you get going.
Well, thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right. Yeah. See ya. That was Friday. Thank you so much for calling in, Friday. Once again, we're going to try to finish this this Reddit post. They basically say they would have gotten information from the sheriff's office that she walked off. So sundown was around 9 p.m., 2 hours after the first responders showed up, with 60 to 80 people scrambling to find a missing 5-year-old on and around the property. Whilst daylight is fading, it's possible they destroyed any tracks, man-made or vehicle-made, that should be on the property. So this person's saying the sheriff's department obviously can't come out and say this because it would seriously hurt their chances of a conviction with only circumstantial evidence, assuming they haven't turned anything up concrete to charge the parents with. To me, this seems like a plausible scenario, especially since it seems that Summer somehow just disappeared without a trace. So it's a good comment. Like, you would think they're saying they had 60 to 80 people scrambling around the property the night she went missing. I mean, I get that they all probably wanted to, help out as the sun was going down and in the best way that they could. But yeah, they possibly walked over valuable footprints if this theory of her being taken, is valid or could be possible. So what are you guys saying? ADHD, she's right. Locals say they go there to party. Robin presents herself as honest. Thank you, True Crime. Cha-Cha says, I think she stayed in the car. Viking Dogmanship says, I would love to blame ADHD on everything in my life. Corinna says, I am with Sergeant Friday. Cheryl, thank you, Friday. My phone just fell, but it didn't break. Oh, I'm glad. I'm glad it didn't break. They were waiting for her prescriptions. Kira, what are you talking about? They were definitely waiting for her prescriptions when they went swimming. I agree. I don't disagree. Did Hunter say the grandma went into the grocery store with Candace? Yes, True Crime. Hunter stated that they were in the store for like an hour or close to an hour. And take that for what it is. Each of them don't really have the best sense of time. And that's completely fine. Not everyone is great when it comes to that stuff, especially like trying to recall something that happened a month ago, because that's when Hunter and Candace were interviewed by Chris from the interview room. So yeah, Grandma apparently went inside and Hunter and Summer stayed in the car and were watching TikToks. Angela says... Or Dove says, the FBI, police, and certified search groups are still taking this as a search and rescue. When they call it a search and recovery, then we know that the officials know much more. Interesting. After hearing how Candace went off on Don cheating on her, I feel like she felt the same way about his relationship with Summer. Interesting. Perhaps Grandma got a pain pill to share. Yet they let the church people up there to pray for him. Yeah, Sky Z, they did end up letting Robin onto the property after the initial search had ended to kind of pray over the family. Lene says, what does Lene say? What if, which I hate, but just the same, what if they took Grandma to the ER, dropped her off, went swimming, Candace leaves Hunter swimming with Summer while Candace picks up Grandma to get meds? You never know. Arms of an Angel. I tweeted a video I created with the update, Aaron. Okay, I will find that right now. Yo, just have to pause each page, the updates. Okay, looking into this now. Thank you. Let me know what that video includes there, Arms of an Angel, and I'll look into that. Amy's saying, call people, call. Yeah, feel free to call everyone. The number is still up on the screen. There was something, the big takeaway, and if you're joining the stream late, please go back and listen to this one through if you're at all interested in this case. We go through a couple things that are massive red flags for me when it comes to the timeline and just what Candace is saying and what Hunter is saying. Let's see. More of this to me seems like possibly there could have been an accident at the house, and the scream that the neighbor heard could have been Candace even. I mean, or if it was Summer, you know, I don't know. More of it seems like it could possibly have been an accident. Also, some people were talking, if there was a creepy guy hanging around their house, could he have just been in the basement waiting for Summer to go to the basement and then, boom, sneak right out with her? Because here's the thing. The timeline, because they immediately go to, Dawn and Candace immediately were like, she's abducted. As opposed to she wandered off, which is, in most cases, probably more of, you know, a possibility. Even in Tennessee, in that area, there is a couple situations recently where kids have wandered off, and they've luckily found them within a couple hours to, you know, several hours. And so that's always, I feel like, more of a possibility than just she was abducted. So it's like, if they went and planted flowers and almost immediately she goes inside, Candace, and doesn't see that Summer's in there, how did she not see the guy who would have abducted her? Like, she's right there. So there's a lapse in time. There's definitely a gap in time that is not being talked about, because that person would have, if she was abducted, would have had to have gotten her so fast, and would have had to have been like right there on the other side of the house by the door to just snag and go, that it just doesn't make sense. Angela says an hour for 2 gallons of milk. Candace said 5 minutes. Exactly. That's a hole, Angela. Bloom, dang it, that's a hole. Kira, why didn't they go straight home? Waiting for scripts. Wait, what do you mean? Waiting for the prescriptions? Why didn't they go straight home? Yeah, I definitely think that they were waiting for prescriptions. I believe that. You know, that's why they probably killed time. That's why they were killing time at the swimming hole. You know, I think that's the truth. I think that Grandma is talking now because Dawn is in jail, and Dawn likely controlled a lot, and a lot of people have told me that Grandma is afraid of Dawn, and Dawn is an aggressive person. And now, you know, you've got Dawn sitting in jail, Grandma's starting to talk. Something's happening. Something's happening. Ty says, let's say dry drowning / complete accident. You mean to tell me the boys had no idea something was wrong? The boys have to know something. Oh, we've talked about that, Ty, in a previous video. The truth is on the tongues of the boys for sure. They know something, absolutely. They also said she was in a snuff film after the sale. Missy Me says, ooh, I don't know. I didn't hear about that. Tina says, didn't know they immediately went to she was abducted. Most would think she had just wandered off. Exactly. Also, Tina, what's very, very interesting is that the way Dawn talked about Summer so quickly after this happened was almost just like he had lost hope. He was like, she's with the Lord now. She's with the Almighty, the creator of all of the, like, she is safe. She is like, I get that you would lose hope over a considerable amount of time and maybe say, you know, she's possibly in a better place. Like, that's what I would like to think or whatever. But Dawn so quickly was just saying, like, she's with the Lord God Almighty, you know, all these things he was saying. And it's just like, what? Like, you don't think that there's hope that she just could be found? It's like so soon. So it's interesting. Also, Mike Jess Niagara says, no interviews with the brothers. Mike, these are underage kids. So I am assuming they absolutely talk to these boys, but that's not going to be something that is public, right? They're not going to publicize any of that. So for sure, the boys know something. For sure, the law enforcement has talked to them, and they're, like I said, holding a lot close to the vest, I'm sure, in the event that they have to build a case against someone. Yeah, come on. Dawn and Candace say she's gone, but everyone else seems to have hope. Exactly. Kira says, yes, that's exactly what I'm trying to reiterate. They didn't go straight home. Someone asked why they didn't go straight home. Because they had a script. Yeah, exactly. Which exactly what we were talking about when Amy called, or shortly after Amy called. I get why they wouldn't want to go straight. Like, so people are saying, why wouldn't you want to go straight home after the hospital visit? They were waiting for the prescriptions, but even then, you would think they wouldn't want to go stand around the lake. You'd think they'd want to just stay kind of chilling in the car, maybe go through I could see them wanting to go through the Sonic drive-thru and just remain in the car, keep the AC going, all that. Ty says, do we know where the boys are? Are they with foster parents or with the state? Look, I'm not sure. Possibly with CPS. Something at a state level, I would assume. They're probably being overseen by someone on a state level. Alex says, they gave up from day one. I told you I know the parents with missing kids for over 25 years that still have hope. That's what I'm talking about. We've talked about that in previous live streams as well. Parents are oftentimes the last person to give up hope, right? So depending on the situation, obviously. But Cheryl says 2 hour mark. Yes, you're right. We've been going 2 hours. I appreciate you all for being here. Let's go ahead and end the stream. We had a couple of phone calls. Thank you to Fry, as well as, of course, Amy for calling in. I have nixed the phone line. Thank you guys for being here. I'm going to read a couple of the comments as they're coming through. I need to quickly, once again, shout out the people, the Tier 2 supporters. Here they are here. Tier 2 supporters. Fem, Kate for Peace, Jennifer Louise, RS, Erica Broadus, Angela Bloom, Sasha McLean, Joyce Smith. Okay, we're gonna watch that again. I'm giving the shout outs. Rhonda, Victoria, Tracy Knapp, Jordan, Claire, Jennifer Harris, Curious Cat, Jasmine, Hungry Helmet, Alexa, Melissa McGear, Janet Pirate, Paige in DC, Brock Willis, EM, Kira, Emily Investigates, Randy, and Mrs. Frankie Carey. Thank you guys for being Tier 2 supporters of the stream. We are going to be doing the Tier 2 only stream this month, towards the end of the month. It's usually in the last week or so of the month. And kind of a fun little hint, Beautiful Wife is going to be joining me for like 5 or 10 minutes during that 1 hour live stream. And you guys can ask her some questions. We're not going to get into like her personal life and what she does, but we can have some fun and you guys can get to meet Beautiful Wife. The reason she doesn't show herself on these types of streams, for example, is those get re-uploaded on the internet after. And so she'll tune in and say hi on that stream. She agreed to do that, which is cool. She wants to say hi to some of you. She's very intrigued by all this YouTube stuff. And so that'll be cool to have her on. But anyways, okay. And thank you, Angel. I'm going to look at your comment, your tweet for me, to me. I'm going to look through your video. We'll do that. Also, very quickly, thanks to the people who have subscribed during this live stream. If you came in late, you will know that we recently crossed 19,000 subscribers during the live stream. So thank you to the people who have hit the subscribe button. We crossed 19,000. If you liked this video, if you enjoyed this live stream, hit the subscribe button on your way out as well, so you can be notified when we have more live streams. EM, thanks for another great live stream. Thank you. Angela says, what? Dr. Beautiful Wife will be streaming? Yes, she will be joining us on our next Tier 2 only live stream, so that'll be fun. Kira, Emily Investigates, you betcha. Also, do you have a channel? Do you have a true crime channel? I'll have to check it out, Kira. Your name would imply that maybe you have a true crime channel. Kira, Emily Investigates. You do have a video from 10 days ago. I'll watch it after this. But it doesn't look like you. I was going to be like, shout out. Go check out your channel. But anyways, TD, great. Thanks for being here. Sammy, thank you. True Crime. Joyce, great to be with everyone. Ty, thank you. Aaron, Alicia, and chat. Also, I'm now officially granting moderator to Alexa. She has now the wrench. If she refreshes the page, she will have the wrench next to her name. Alexa, I'll be giving you different resources in the future of kind of things we like to do when it comes to moderation, because we like to let people chat here, obviously. So we don't like to kick a lot of people out, but really it'll just be good to have another person in here as a mod. So Alexa, thank you so much. I just started, but I'm working on it. Awesome, Kira. I'll have to keep an eye out for your videos. Angela, thank you. I have 7 sons and 1 daughter. My children under 6 would be a car seat. Oh, good point, Cindy. Did you all hear Candace said if only I'd walked her over, implying she lied? Cindy, I did not. Interesting. She's having some if only moments. If only. Very interesting. Okay. Well, I always hate ending the live stream because there's still hundreds of people in here hanging out, enjoying themselves. And I like just chatting with you guys. So that's why I kind of drag on the end of the live streams. But thanks to everyone being here. Yeah, Corinna, thanks to everyone. Be well. You guys all have a good rest of your Tuesday. Thank you for spending it with me. We are going to have another live stream for sure, probably Thursday. So stick around for that. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for being here. Hit the like button on your way out, and we'll see you guys in the next stream. Peace. Okay, I'm back for a moment. Cindy just says don't end. Also, I'm also going to be teasing this. So I have an idea that I'm tossing around right now. We're going to be doing a multi-hour live stream coming up very, very soon, okay, where we stream for like 5 or 6 hours. And I'm building out the idea right now, so definitely send me ideas. I have a submission form for different cases to look into. It's going to be a very casual stream where we kind of slowly go through interesting cases. We have different fun things that we do throughout it. It's going to be a mega stream where I'm going to be, and I talked about this earlier, not asking for money, but this is going to be a stream where I'm getting donations for people who want to help fund my documentary. So that's coming up very soon. I'm going to be doing a mega stream that hopefully works with everyone's timelines to at least be able to hop in or hop out. Alexa, it is going to be like a marathon. It's going to be fun. There's going to be challenges. There's going to be fun things. Not you, Alexa. Anyways, subscribe. That's going to be coming up. It's going to be really, really fun. I'm still building out what that's going to look like. There's going to be some really cool things, some incentives to donate. It'll be really cool. So Victoria says, is this a test to see how faithful we are? No, but I appreciate you guys still being here. Of the 419 people that are in here, you guys got a little tease of what's coming. I will be posting on my community page when that stream will be happening, but it will be happening in the next few weeks. So definitely be on the lookout. Para says, how can it expire? Are you talking about the stream? I think it'll have a limit, maybe like a 5 or a 6 hour limit. We'll see. But anyways, okay, that's it. I'm going now. See you guys.